is in ruin and ready to collapse. The so-called resistance leaders, they rage bait the slaves, pushing their own demise. Stay angry indeed. Black pills of despair rain from the sky. No one can stop the fall. No one can stop Black Chad, demon of despair.
No, stop putting your emotion into it.
Wait,
we need to look for alternatives.
what's this?
Look for solutions. We can't just, give in to despair and this programmed demoralization of the West. Come on, guys.
What? You're not full of rage or despair? Fine. I will imprison you in an astral dungeon and keep you away from the others. No one will hear about your alternatives or your solutions or your silly indie brands. No one cares. The despair programming must continue.
What?
Welcome to Forever, nerd.
You haven't won, Black Chad.
Oh, yeah?
I'll talk to and review every indie creator I can, and we'll fight against your despair.
Even the bad ones?
Yes, even the bad ones.
Oh.
You don't get it. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me!
Oh.
Now on with the show.
Oh, yeah. Pissing off old Black Chad.
That's right.
Nerd.
Chad of color, yeah.
Happy Sunday, guys.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Sun shining, cold.
Have a good.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Snow's
alive. I
melting.
don't know.
Yeah, any day above ground's a good day.
Yeah. Finally, the weather's changing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, all right. So this week, not to go too fast, not to go straight to the point, but this week we are doing. We're going to talk about reviews. We're going to go over a review that Dark Side is Comics did about a year ago, and I wanted to choose that one because it was a mixed review. Like some things he liked and some things he didn't like. So I thought that was fair, because like some of them were like, oh, this is great, and which I appreciate those too. But the definition of a review is a formal assessment or examination of something with the possibility or intention of instituting change if necessary. Also a critical appraisal of a book, play, movie, exhibition, etc., published in a newspaper or magazine. So yeah, it will be a formal addressing. He takes me to task over everything terrible in my book. And no, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But first, let's go ahead and say hello to the chat. First, of course, we got Derek in there. What up, dude? And of course, Dave, Genuine Comics. What up, man?
Hey.
He actually has a show, I think, coming on in another couple of hours. So go check out Genuine Comics. He's constantly he's constantly promoting people. So check him out to find new stuff. Yeah, Drink with Brink, which tricked me because like the first time I was on there, he was like, yeah, drink. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to have something alcoholic, even though it's like 1 o'clock my time.
Hammered.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, what do you have? And he's like, Coke or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, what a letdown.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were like having beers,
I was talking tea. What did you?
I thought you were going to give me a pour.
Thanks. Yeah. Not that I'm complaining about having a little day drinking on a Sunday.
Yeah, a little absent in the morning. Does it good?
I felt a little off because I was the only one drinking. So, anyways, what's up, Tank? Especially the bad ones. Yeah. Take that. Because that's kind of a part of the review thing, right? It's like not every book is for everyone. So some things that you're going to not like, somebody else is going to not even notice, right? Or they will like. So like there's a huge spectrum and all that stuff when it comes to reviewing and critiques and all that stuff. And in my opinion, if it's not a technical one, then it's pretty subjective, and I'll tell you, Dark Side is Comics. He caught some technical problems and some his personal stuff that he didn't like as well. So we will examine maybe all of that because it's longer than I remember. He spent about 27 minutes, which I appreciate. anybody talking about my book at all. So
yeah, gee.
Ahoy, all you sagacious scallywags. Yeah. There's John. What up? Happy Sunday, gentlemen. Hey, enough with the name calling. How about that?
There's nothing about me that's gentle.
Oh shit! What up, Hojo? What up,
hey. Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Going through. Got a few people.
That's about everybody, right?
I don't drink, Dave, but I got blitzed in edibles before the stream. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, why isn't he talking very much?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, your dedication was thank you. I appreciate that, Dave. Yeah. All right, what is this? I had too many on Friday. Ooh, $5 whiskey pours. Look at you.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll hurt you, man.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I don't do whiskey anymore. I got tired of either fighting or crying or both. So,
Some people shouldn't drink liquor, man. That's what
like, I'm out.
Some people should.
Vodka is easier. I'll relax and have some vodka.
It's a potato drink.
Yeah, exactly. The whiskey, oh yeah, we're getting fired up.
Super good.
Anyways, so a little bit about reviews. What do you guys think of reviews, reviewers, and reviewing in general in the indie scene?
So this one's like a really, really difficult one to navigate because like there's so many factors involved. First of all, I got to say at the very beginning of this, reviews are 100% our lifeblood. Like we're unproven, we're no names essentially. So having anybody even being remotely generous enough to read through our product and advertise it, whether it's a positive or a negative, whatever, it's a very helpful element. What scares me though is all of the I don't want to say political, but all of the social charging with all the different factions and groups and cliques and all this stuff. You could literally give a negative review and it could be the ultimate destruction of your product. And I don't think that people who have books, and this is me personally, and I'm sure plenty disagree. Personally, I don't think that if you have an indie book out there, it's almost like a conflict of interest if you start reviewing other people's books, because what's going to happen is it puts a target on your back of whether or not the reviews that you get in return are negatively affected by your negative reviews. Meaning, this guy said shit about my book. Well, screw him. His book sucks too.
Right. That's true. And that was something I wanted to do originally with this channel, was do more reviewing and stuff like that. It's like, I'm buying these books, why not also make content and review them, and stuff like that. And actually, Derek, I think yours is the only comic that I ended up doing a review for. It was with me
I remember that.
And my son. Well, that's fun. Not true, because we also did reviews of Lucent and was it? I don't know. There's a few comics in there that we
did the read through on that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I'm not going to come on here, and if there's a book that I dislike or whatever, I'm not going to shit talk it. The books that I've reviewed, like I told Aaron this like backstage a while ago, but like I'm not going to publicly jump on and talk about a book that I don't like. So I apologize if I'm
dropped out. You're muffled.
Oh, sorry. I was away from the microphone. But like, I'm not going to, I apologize for books that I didn't, exclude or whatever. But what I'm saying though is the books that I have gone over, the ones that I have sung the praises of, it's because I generally like them. Like Fall of Man is a great book. Like The Lucent, amazing. Like I'm not gonna, books that I disliked, I'm not gonna jump in and be like, well, I didn't like X book because the art sucked, or be like, oh, really? Infinity Tale Chronicles is my new toilet paper.
And that affects the small guys, because somebody goes to YouTube and they're like, oh, let me type in, let me see, and then they see negative review after negative review. I'm not gonna buy the book probably, So
and that that happened on a live stream too. I got invited to a show, and then they asked us to do a critique of their book on stream. And I was like, "Are you sure? Like, you want this?" Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, give me the criticism, because I don't know what's wrong."
Let me have it.
And,
last words.
I didn't necessarily. I mean, I gave him some criticism. I gave him real criticism because I was like, he asked for it, but I wish I wouldn't have done it now on stream. I wish I would have done it in private message, because I'm like, it was detrimental. It was detrimental, dude. I think it hurt him. It hurt him in, you know, in his heart, and it destroyed him. And the other guys that were on the channel with him, streaming with him, they did the same thing, and it was harsh, man. It was harsh. Ooh. And I was like, this feels crazy to me. I don't ever want to do that again. No. But I will definitely go, like, if you want to hear how I think or something, private message me, and I will definitely have a true conversation with you, because I feel like that's me being a good artist, and like, I want to help people. So I'm more of a teacher at heart. So I would love to teach and help and improve people. So for me, it's always coming from a place of, no, not that you suck. It's just that you're going to get better, and I'm going to help you out. You know what I mean? Because comics are hard, man. Comics are hard.
They are.
It is definitely its own art form. And not only that, but just like coordinating and marketing and all that stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, quality levels, getting things to be, you know, conveyed the way you want, storytelling. I mean, when you add it all up, there's so much to it. And when you're just starting out and you don't know any better, you're probably going to have some major screw ups, you know, some major crappy like stories until you get it honed in. That's just the way it is. Not everybody just jumps off and they're like genius from.
Yeah. I also I also appreciate when it's a non-creator that reviews the book. Like remember when I've had like Amanda B look over my stuff, and at the end of my campaign, I actually sent out a survey, and it was full of like, what did you like? What did you not like? What do you think needs some improvement? Do you have any additional, you know, whatever? And I got some really good feedback. That's my day job. I'm a UX designer. Like, people telling me my stuff sucks is my job. I get paid for that. So, so I appreciate the negative and the positive feedback. The only difference is, though, when that feedback comes from somebody that's competing against you, and let's make no qualms about it. Everybody is competing against everybody else for that. There is a finite amount of money and people and time. So when you have like one of your colleagues who's also making a product, and they say, I don't like X about your product, and then you can't, even with whatever, you know, if you try to recuse yourself or take whatever bias you can, and you look at their product and you're like, well, I can see why he doesn't like that, because I don't like what he's doing in his, you know? And then it turns into this little bitchy cat fight. And it's like, no, and you can't you can't legitimize it, though, because you don't know if it was because of the retaliatory thing or if it was legitimate. Like, they just have a different opinion, you know? Like,
are you saying that there might be artists and writers out there? I guess writers are artists who might have fragile egos? No way. That's not heard of, damn it.
Not at all. No, you guys didn't hear that. Not at all.
So let's check in with some chat here. Genuine Comics, reviewing is a skill. There are a few out there who have no business reviewing comics. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Like, man, you didn't like anything about it, you know? Another one's I bought a camera stand last year explicitly to do comic book reviews. I never used it as it just felt weird. It's best to leave it to passionate customers. That's a fair argument. I have that too. And actually, one of the things I'd like to do with my show, because I'm not sure when I'm going to stream if I'm going to stream regularly again or not, but I want to take the comics that I've bought and just kind of read them with whoever wants to show up and see, you know. I may not do like the full book, because I know some creators don't like that. I think it's great free advertisement, but you know, whatever. So we'll see going forward. Tank says hard work is hard. Yeah, it's true. What's up, Buzz?
What up? Like that's why I like doing the positive. Like, and I know it's like, oh, dude, you're just shilling or whatever. No, like, I generally, if I enjoy a book, I want to sing it, you know, from rooftops. I want to make sure that this gets the light that it deserves, because I want more of that shit as a customer. Like, if I'm a repeat backer, if I have backed more than one of your books, dude, that is a huge glowing thumbs up, you know. And I want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Buzz says, I only accept praise from my fellow creators. Yeah. Only praise. Thank you. Yeah. More fragile than a vegan's muscle mass. Okay.
Damn.
True too.
Like a Swedish chick.
It's like jelly. So, all right. I guess what we can do on that note is we'll go to a pretty tough review that I had from Darksiders Comics, which I appreciate. You know, I don't want this to be like all he did was bitch about, you know, his review for whatever. No, I'm not doing that at all, because he does make some really good points. So, and not just like subjective ones. It's like, yeah, I clearly fucked that up, didn't I? Thank you. So, which is helpful because not everybody catches those things. Obviously, some of it got past me, the artist, anybody that else that read it and looked at it, you know. But he caught it, so that's cool. You know, now I know. So, anyways, let's make sure that this is working. And it's really long, so I'm gonna just kind of skip through, and hopefully we can find little highlights that we can talk about. But we'll start from the beginning.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today
Can you hear that?
a crowdfunded
Yes.
book called Immortal Rising Volume 1 by Aaron C. and Jose Garcia. I got this a while ago, and I just read it a moment ago, and there's a lot that I like. There's also a lot that I dislike. And I want to talk about that. So without
I like this delivery. Dislike. Like, fair. That's fair. Tank says if the creator isn't having fun, it shows in the work.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
And simply being excited doesn't count. Yeah.
you gotta
it's
love
true.
what you're doing.
You got to be passionate. That's half of the sales pitch is just trying to filter and focus that passion to people who aren't familiar with you or your stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
further ado, let's dive in. Also, we have a map of,
Yeah.
what does it say?
Vandal. It says Vandal.
The world of Terra. I believe this is a typo because in the book, there's people talk about the world of Terra with a double R. And
Son of a bitch.
this is a typo.
Yeah,
That's my
damn
bad.
it. Yeah. No, that's okay because that was not your bad. On the original map from way back when, there was like one R on it, and somehow it got all the way to the final publishing. So yeah. Yep.
small.
Yeah, it's a small typo.
Anyway,
Thank you.
so these are the people that worked on that. Also by graphic design by Chris Fisk. I know Chris. He had his own book. I talked about his book a while ago. And he's doing great work. Also like the logo. I have to.
I didn't do that.
Yes. First of all, Chris is an inside man on this, so I was going to point out he's friends with the reviewer. So
Yeah.
disclosure, and then also, yeah, it was actually Andrew Sommer did the logo for me,
Yeah.
probably back in 2017 or something. So
Yeah. That's a cool
shout
logo.
out to Andrew. Shout out to Andrew Sommer.
Yeah. The only logo I did was the little mini one in the upper right there. I just leveraged it.
Yep, which is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate all the work that you've done for me. So
Oh, no problem.
Chris
Man.
about doing my logo, but hopefully he has the time. So what is this? This is I believe a fantasy world that is on Earth called Terra.
yeah, so he's going to talk, if I remember right, he'll talk about, I don't know if this is Earth in the past or the future or whatever. No, it's just a place called Terra.
I believe.
Yeah, well,
problem
didn't
is-
we discuss that? Because you were talking, in the original opening, I was talking about the plane of whatever.
Yes,
we
and
discussed
changed that.
Yeah, I think that'll help clarify.
I think so too. Maybe we'll see. Let's see. Dave says passion is the main drive to do comics since there sure isn't money. Shit, Dave, you're gonna just pull out the plain facts, huh? All right.
I think I hate money too. That's the way it feels. Everything I do doesn't give me money.
Yeah. Well, this is more creative and fun than just burning it. So,
Yeah.
Hank says, "Gee, what a nice comic for me to poop on."
Little smuggle.
I really want this book. Oh well, it is available. Actually, pinned to the top of the chat. It is on Kickstarter right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I silent launched it on Kickstarter. Haven't really been advertising because I just want to see. Okay, will Kickstarter actually bring me anything? So
Yeah.
and so far I think I've got 2 buyers. So
Oh, damn.
well,
Don't
it's
you have
like
to tag on to other people there.
these storefronts will be like, or not the storefronts, but these websites will be like, hey, if you put your book on here, just people shopping will see your book potentially and buy it. And like Indiegogo at the end of your campaign will say, "Oh, we helped you get this many or whatever." Total fucking lie. Absolute lie. There's no way any of that is true. So really, it is you as a seller. It is your job to funnel them to any site that you choose. Just funnel it to that one site. In my experience, from what I've seen. So
yeah. Do you have to tag on to other people on Kickstarter though? Because I thought you had to do that.
I don't know. Do you?
I thought that was part of it. Like if you tag on to other people, then they share with you, and it just kind of it networks for you or something.
Oh, really? All right. Well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. That's totally fair.
I don't know. I've never used it, so
yeah, I'm not a Kickstarter expert in any of it.
Yeah,
me neither. John says, "I enjoyed the book. Good start. Thanks, John. Yeah, I appreciate it too. And John gave me a really good review too, so I appreciate it.
Nice.
Let's see. Dave says, "I love how this book looks from the art to the lettering and logos, top notch. Thank you. I appreciate that." All right, let's get into it.
But for me, there's a lot of things that confuses me. But
That's
before
fair.
we go in, we go through the story a little bit here and there, and then I'm going to talk about the things that I like and talk about the things that I think can be improved. Could be better. Maybe that's the word. Anyway, so it seems that the story is about a group of rangers that is going to boar hunting. And they are being, selected by, I don't know, the King's Guard, or I don't know who these people are, but
I love the subtitles picking up his accent.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's basically this new recruits in the Kingdom's Rangers. It's like the high end kind of military troop, and they're noobs, and they're basically young kids. I mean, like probably 19, 20, when you come out of boot camp or whatnot. And it's their first time together, trying to look good for the royalty. And they do an escort mission, right? For all you fantasy role-playing game guys, they do an escort mission with the princes, and things don't exactly go as planned. So
because there's some kind of a festival coming up with princes and princesses.
I'll skip through a little bit.
And I don't know why he just looks like a spooky assassin. I mean, if he is the king's brother, why doesn't he look like someone that is, royalty, clothing?
So the reason that we chose that look for the brother hero was it was a conscious choice, because he is like he's in the shadow of his brother, who is the firstborn. So the idea was that he is his look is more subdued, more in the shadows. Even he lurks. He saw his brother, he gets all the love and praise, and he kind of hasn't. And you see that through his character, is that actually he is a little bit bitter, or rejected and he feels that way. Like he's got a chip on his shoulder a little bit, which you see later play out. So that is, and we wanted to, me and the original design artist, we wanted to convey that just really easily. And one way to do that is just go for, a classic rogue look,
in royalty and all that stuff, which is a little bit odd to me. And that's one of the major problems that I had with this book. Why, it sometimes a lot of things doesn't make any sense. What makes not much sense is the art of Jose Garcia. I'm a big fan of his work.
Shout out to Jose.
Yeah, man.
He has a great sense of, detail, design. It all looks really, really.
And he has such a unique style. Like, it's really easy to point out his, his work. So yeah, it's so funny how I just happened to, encounter Jose randomly in the wild looking for an artist. Way before I knew about the indie scene or Comicsgate or anything like that. It was just fortuitous. So that's pretty cool. I like it.
Really good and fantastic.
And that was before he had really gotten into comics even. So I was just lucky. He was like, "Hey, I'm thinking of getting into comics." And I'm like, "Great, me too."
Yeah.
My childish naivety. I was like, "I'm trying to get into indie comics too. Yay." Let's see. John says, "I loved it so much, I totally truthfully forgot everything that happened in it." So when I read it again for the sequel, it'll be like reading it for the first time. That's cool.
Yeah.
little bro is Loki maxing. Yeah.
Although sometimes his art can be a little bit unreadable, a little bit too overcomplicated sometimes. But overall, I like his work a lot. Also, the colors are very nice. And
I will say Jose's coloring is extremely underrated in the scene. Like why he's not coloring other people's stuff, I don't know, because that's the one major positive art critique that I've heard. Other than it feels like you're reading animation because that's his background. But it's his colors. Everybody's like, man, those colors pop. So yeah,
they do pop. They look great.
Oh yeah, this girl is talking to this.
Yeah, he's really improved with his coloring.
He's not really too happy that royalty is coming with them for the boar hunts because.
Yeah, and so here I was just kind of showing, the differences, like setting up that all of these people are separated, if not by race, then by at least class and ability, and which will be important going forward because the whole story, the three parts of the story, by the by the end of it, they have to be able to work as a team in this survival situation. So just kind of showing, hey, they're all different. And how they're different.
Well, he thinks he has to babysit them, right? And although they are being selected to exactly do that.
That right there, right down here, that airship scene is so gorgeous, and that is something that Jose can do on his own. Like when I write a script for Jose, I don't have to include any screen direction or layouts or really any of that. I just basically I give him a page. And I give them, I average 4 panels and I try to get through, what I want to convey on that page in those 4 panels. And then, I put in on emotion, who's in it, that kind of stuff. But like camera placement, things in the background, all of that, is solely Jose. So
yeah,
he gets an idea of what's going on and then he can get right down into it. So it's fun.
Yeah, well, cool. You can see the comparison too between the original incarnation of this book and see what Jose did to it, his interpretation. And like you can see that he's worked in the industry. The guy's an animator. He knows how to set up framing. He knows how to set up the panel. So it's cool seeing that some, your artist can be like, yep, okay, I don't need like a lot of direction. Essentially, it's just like
very little direction, mainly just emotion and the idea of the overall page, and he nails it.
That's right. So why come?
Wait, what does he say here? He says, "Wait, you're not Alan Mooring, your artist?"
Oh no!
Like, here's a whole book of that one page. Yeah,
yes, he needs to have 6 hairs on his eyebrow, not 3.
Yeah, that is not correct.
Plain. He says, "I'm not sure I want to hunt with someone with perfume and no skills." And then she makes her jokes here and there. And,
he got the joke.
It seems that these two are really hitting it off.
That was actually something that I was nervous about. Was like, are the readers going to get that she's being sarcastic and ribbing him? And I'm glad that even though there was things that he didn't like about the book, he at least got that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So yes, it landed.
Comedy is hard.
The romantic
it really is.
And the goofiness between these two, they make jokes, they have fun with each other.
Yeah, it's supposed to be young.
I like that, right? And
then I have to kill her. So there's that. Spoilers.
But there's something going on later in the book. So yeah, as you can see, they are really liking each other. Meanwhile, royalty comes here, and they are getting ready for the hunt, right? So they say, "We're making good time, Your Highness. The dire boar territory is past the usual hunting grounds, and I didn't know it would take this long. I thought you were the best. I still have to get ready for the ball." And then they are talking about.
I love it. That's great.
It's so
supposed to be. Yeah, I'm so glad that
like that.
He can tell that that Dareth is a snob. Yeah, he is a fucking snob. And you guys will see as long as this series keeps going, he he really gets grounded out. He gets taken off his pedestal because he's removed from his court, his kingdom and all that shit. So his transformation and arc is pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
What's going on, right? So, did you say you can't wait for the ball, Your Highness? Well, that's exactly what he just said. Having a nice, classy yet revealing dressmates, maybe lacy corset and sensible shoes. Yes, kindly, Hunter. The ball, the Duchess of.
So they're just playful banter back and forth. We kind of skip through to the introduction of the big bad. So in this part, this is like this is the introduction of the big conflict. Because I did play around with having basically two stories where it's the gods and the first level guys, and how they interact and how the gods affect the first level guys. So
I don't know, the evil lair guys, I don't know, he's probably the bad guy and he's looking for something, I guess, and then he's getting some kind of a notification that a ruby that's missing is now found on Terra. So I believe, Terra is then the planet, and these guys are not from that planet.
Boom. Yes, you're right.
And we're getting introduced to a sexy young woman.
Who everybody loves, by the way. Like, dude, that she wasn't even supposed to really be that big of a deal, but everybody loved her so much that I had to give her a big part of the third book. So
Corey Barton cover.
The Corey Barton cover, which
nice.
By the way, plug I am wearing right now.
Nice.
And I want to let anybody who backed know that everything has gone to my fulfillment guy, Critical Blast. It's probably in the back of a truck somewhere going to Arkansas right now. So if it hasn't arrived yet, and then all of that stuff, I assume will be going out in like a week or something like that. But yeah, and the shirts, I have a Printify store on my link tree, but I need to get that link and post it correctly because I'm a noob and I have other shit going on in my life. So, but yes, I do have a Printify store that you can go and get some shirts, because I got this one, and last week I wore the Listo shirt. So, let's see, give readers what they want. Exactly. Yeah, I learned. So, like, long story, but the second one had been completed, and then I was like, "Hey, Jose, will you just do the first one for me?" Because I lost track of the original artist and all that stuff. So Jose redid the whole book for me, as some of you know. The second one had already been done by Jose, and then he just kind of touched up the art for this. So some of those lessons that I've learned from the first one, I couldn't really go back and change a lot of panels and things. I did add a little bit, but mostly I changed the dialogue. I cleaned it up, simplified it a little bit. There was a couple of scenes where, or there was a major scene where the dialogue didn't land as well as I wanted it to, but I fixed that. So,
nice.
Anyways, all right.
Called Empress Tilixmon of.
Had to do the fantasy name. Yes, the little hyphenation. Sorry. It's to show that it's, alien in some way. And, whereas like all the names of the characters on Terra are much more Earth-based. So
Ammonite Empire, and she was instructed as a cleric to Bamain in the high. Okay. Why is a empress being elected as a cleric?
It's like a Pope monarchy kind of deal, Yeah. It's like the major, the major being behind the empire is this evil god, Bamain. And so, the leader of the empire is also his highest cleric. So it makes sense, I suppose.
That doesn't make any
to
sense
some people.
To me.
It doesn't make any sense. To some.
Perfect timing.
No, there are theocracies out there that have, like that. Was it Ayatollah Khomeini?
I mean, you look at any kingdom in medieval Europe,
Right.
Yeah, Charlemagne, the Holy Roman Empire.
Empress, why do you need to be selected for being a cleric? That seems weird.
Yeah, the idea was to
it's
show
the
that
same
that she has a a connection to Bamain through her faith and all that stuff, which is played out right here on this page, between this page and the next one, where he summons her spiritually to the astral plane where he was at, and like basically tells her her mission. Whoops.
Self-destruction. I don't know what that is. I'm a simple guy. What does that mean? Giving her powers by another will.
It just means granted by Bemain. That's all.
Does that mean the people gave her the power to do so? I don't know. What does that mean? Anyway, so she gets a message from this guy, I guess. And she says, hey, what's up, Master? My ruby power has been used.
What's up, Master?
Terra. My ruby must be found at any cost.
I like it.
It exists. Who would dare to wield it? Okay. So this guy has then lost the ruby for reasons. How did you lose it, and why? I don't know. More questions, right?
Okay, so stop that for just a second. So for me, like if it's by another's will, that's going to make me question, like he did, right? But then I'm going to go, cool. I know it. Hopefully later the story tells me whose will that is. So this is how you hook readers in, to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
trying to set up.
Not laid out for you.
We'll always have an answer for a question you create. You know, the pacing is defining where that answer is given. You know,
exactly.
Right.
So to me, that's good storytelling. You're hooking them in a little bit.
Yeah, for some people, but not for everybody.
I mean, in Marinus's defense here, and I'm not saying this because I'm his friend, but like,
no,
it's you basically reiterated exactly what was said in the panel, but you said it differently. So this could be a language barrier issue, because it's like the way that one person who's lingua franca or native language connotates certain words is different than others, and when you're running things through localization, you can't always use the same euphemisms. Like for example, in Spanish, if you were to tell a Spanish-speaking person, I'm going to sleep on it, like I'm gonna think about something, they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Because their version of that same exact expression or idiomatic expression would be, I'm going to consult my pillow.
Right.
So there is, when writing, like a lot of times, and this might actually be helpful. I don't know if you'd be willing to do it, but like send the book, like either an advanced copy or like a proofreading copy or whatever to people who don't speak English natively, and then be like, if they're like, I don't get this or I don't get that, it's like, oh, okay, what if I change it to okay, I get it now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it'll be helpful, but that might be something to consider.
I appreciate his, the fact that, maybe there is some kind of gap there or something like that. I don't mind that at all, because as a writer, I'm like, I've got to make it more universal and more simple. One of the things that I did in this is like, I bring something up, a couple of different times, because I want it to not be glossed over, because those things, it does matter by the, throughout the whole story. So, but I understand, I could have worded it differently. So thank you for the critique.
All right, I go along with that. And then she's also a nosebleed for probably, I don't know, intrusive thoughts by this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, she's in her head.
She says, Fleet Commanders, gather your troops and ships. We are invading Terra. I like that. I also like the backgrounds here. That is actually panels with buttons. What I do not like is that
he likes the butt. Come on, everybody likes the butt.
He was talking about everything but that ass.
Yeah, he's like pointing around it. He's like, I like everything.
Was the wife in the room?
A lot of Marvel comics. There's a lot of computer screens with nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? There's so much detail in this comic, and you have nothing on the computer screens. There's no information. There's no data. There's no.
I don't know. I would assume he would clutter it up, but I leave that to my artist.
Well, what information would he want to see? Like, is there
That's a good question.
Because, like, if the information was to tell a story, then great. Yeah, you crowd the image with that information. Right. But if it isn't, then it's like you said, it's a signal to noise problem.
Yes. Exactly.
The focus here is her ass.
Exactly. Let us not forget about the booty. Okay. All right.
images, imagery, pictures, nothing. It's just all blank. That's so weird. Then we're moving on to a.
Not that weird. It's weird that he didn't mention her butt. I'm kidding, Dark Side. I enjoyed it. Thank you for reviewing.
Church that is, or a cathedral that is unfinished, called Andruli. Exactly that. And it seems that neophyte Muhammad is now being, I don't know, how do you say, anointed? Is that how you say it?
That's fair.
He's getting into the church, right? He's being now a part of the church. He's now being selected by.
So one of the themes that I kind of did for the book was that, like, if you kind of pay attention, everybody is getting dressed. Like they're all getting initiated. They're all starting their character levels, really. So Muhammad here, you see him getting anointed, as he said, or ordained, whatever you want to call it, and he puts on his new clothes, his new cleric job class, right? Just as before the Rangers graduated, and the princes were, getting dressed, looking in mirrors and all that stuff. Kind of like metaphorically, we're going on a big journey. I'm going on a journey, and and you'll see how that plays out in the end.
By the church, and right, okay. So there's some kind of a ritual here and there, and he is getting, appointed as I don't know.
Some people really enjoy the Muhammad character, even though he doesn't do much in this one. But trust me, you will see more of him.
He's a priest or a savior or whatever. He also killed Dracula, by the way. And I thought to myself,
yeah. So the patron god of the Muhammad kills Dracula on this world. The Dracula is like a title, which you'll see later on. So. And he kind of gets confused here, if I remember right, because it's been a while since I've seen this, where he's like, well, does that mean that, Dracula, does that mean that it's on, it's on Earth at some point in history or in the future? So, well, if that's a concern or a question, it will be explained later.
Wait, what? Dracula? Dracula's in this universe too? And there's a lot of going on, which means there is... all these fantasy creatures. So I believe Terra is still Earth, but I maybe not. And there's fantasy creatures like zombies, werewolves, vampires. That's okay, but it's not really. Doesn't matter. Let's move on.
There we go.
So yeah, spaceships coming to that medieval town. I'm doing something similar, but then totally different. And
all right, I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Terra, I mean. Meanwhile, our bunch of heroes and are talking about, sitting at the campfire. And so this girl says, hey, did you get your poop back? Or toiletries back? And so cloaky guy here says, no, I don't have it. Well, you can have mine. So basically he's being made fun of by...
Yeah, so the, the one who has low self-esteem in the shadows and all that stuff, he gets mocked, right? He gets mocked by the guys. And it fucks with him a lot.
His brother and also this hunter, right? And he doesn't like that at all. And he says, you forget yourself, Ranger. I'm not my brother. I don't enjoy Windy Banner. So the girl says, hey, I come with you. And while I'm doing a lookout.
I'm surprised he didn't point out that the eyebrow is in front of the hair here.
Well, they do that in animation a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
So basically it's more like he needs to poop and she's looking out. But
yes.
Then, the door is coming.
If you're going to do anything, you want to introduce poop into your book.
Yes.
This answers the question. Why isn't there a toilet in the Brady Bunch house?
Yeah. Now, how come we never see anybody, go poop in movies? Okay.
Yeah, Archie Bunker was the first one that did it in a TV show.
Had to take a shit?
Yep. First toilet.
Too many natty lights.
And he says, I could warn her. I could get credit for spotting it, but I want them to pay. This is what I like immediately. I think this scheming and scamming of this guy, so it's probably a very petty guy, but it comes.
Yes, he is.
A little bit out of the blue that he is, oh no, I'm being made fun of, so therefore they need to pay. it would be a little bit nicer or better if he is being a scumbag from the beginning, but the way.
Yeah, that was a rug pull that I had people say, "Oh, that was really cool." That he started off thinking he was kind of cool because he was giving his brother shit, and he seemed like the cool brother. And then it turns out, no, actually, he is as petty as the rogue disguise that he wears, or rogue gear that he wears. He's
so you can judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, like some people like that, and some people thought it was too on the nose or whatever. So I don't know. I'm sorry if you don't like that.
On the nose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like when you first see Vader, he's a villain.
Yeah.
It's true.
All you have to do is see the helmet, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Is that a penis? No. Welcome back, Tank. Rewind the show. We'll do that right now. Where were you at last?
The way he talks to his brother was more like, hey.
Oh, by the way, if you guys are still here, I see 47 here, if not also on Twitter. Hit the like, sub me if you're first time here. There's a lot of past shows that are still cool to rewatch as well. So this isn't just, I missed the live show. I'll never come back again. So just hang out, help out, hit some buttons, and follow my link also in the top of the chat. It's to my Kickstarter, and you can buy this beautiful book that we are ripping apart.
Hey, it seems that he is just also a petty guy. Not really problematic, but it's more like nitpicking for me. So the boar is attacking the girl, and she is she's wounded. So the ranger
completely trampled by a giant fucking boar.
Yeah.
Says, Lori, what's happening? And they are attacking the boar, right? And the boar is gigantic. And what I didn't know is that our is this the prince?
Yes.
Or the king? He has magic powers. And
sorry, Tank says I started pushing buttons and now there's a countdown. Should I be concerned?
No.
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly.
He's the brother too, and they're shooting at the boar, I guess, right? And the boar is getting pissed off, so he's using the arrow, shoots him in his face, boar dies. Cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Simple, to the point, great. Meanwhile, this sexy cleric is also
Empress.
Let me go back. Who's also an empress?
Yes.
Is now readying the attack, and then we get a little bit more exposition about things about. Oh yeah, they're talking about what is Locustus. I've seen it word through the book.
Yeah, it's Locutus. He is the creator god of Immortal Rising.
Still, I have read the book. I do not know what Locustus is. So, deep within the planet of Terra, a hiding secret stirs. The last piece of the heart of Locustus beats, calling out to the souls he had created. It calls for protection. So,
trying to be poetic here, trying to be kind of cool, a little different.
My question is then, is Locustus, is that a god? Is that the universe? Is that...
Yes, and at the beginning of the book, if I remember right, it says, in the realm of, the demigod Locutus. So
the Milky Way,
right.
Is that
you might have missed
part of the planet? I do not know. And you can say, well, maybe it's getting revealed in this book. No, it's not getting revealed. Therefore, I have still more questions. And then there's a green flash, and it seems that they are now somewhere else, this party, and they are being split up, but they don't know where they are. Meanwhile, Lori is.
Remember, people, never split your party. That's an old tabletop thing. Never split your party. But of course, that happens here because not everyone is grabbed. There is. It's like randomly. They were all, different ones were randomly grabbed, and luckily for us, it was this group.
Is wounded, and he screams to the royalty people, help me and bandage your wounds and make a stretcher. And he says, I don't know how to do that. And then just stay back if you're useless. Okay, hero step back, so he's probably angry. come on, Laurie, don't leave me. So he tries to save her, right? And then he's bending. He heals her, almost to a certain degree. That's the best I can do with what I got. We need to get to a healer. Where are we? I don't know. Can see the stars, and this is the part of the forest.
So here they're just trying to figure out what the fuck happened. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit so we can maybe fit it all in. Maybe he says something. I don't know. 1 second.
So basically, he is not. He doesn't feel remorse. He's just, oh man, I need to deserve better, right? Stuff like that.
Right, because he's so that's the roguish twin brother. You know, he's petty. He's the one that let the boar do what it did, and he's so self-absorbed that he doesn't really, you know, a little bit of a sociopath, doesn't really feel anything for what he's done. You know, was it? I guess that would maybe be narcissistic, where you blame other people for shit that you did.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's got a little bit of that going on.
Well,
you know, he's not a good guy. Like, not everybody is good in the group. So I think I did all right.
The guy that looks like a highwayman robber isn't the good guy.
Yeah, I mean, I tried putting it a little on the nose there, but it's all right.
His brother, who's more like the fashion type, is actually trying to help, which I like. So, and then we see this.
Yeah, Dareth, you know, he's a little bit more of he's more of like a neutral good type character. So over time, more of the good comes out, and maybe we'll see.
Just looking,
I love that
piece
show.
here, and it seems
that's one of my favorite panels.
Somewhere unknown, right? But then, oh no, zombies are coming, right? And
I think I was on Jason Bascom's show, I believe, when I was first doing this campaign, and he actually, I think he used that panel for the thumbnail for the show that I was on, and then you know, he also pointed it out during the show. He's like, I really like this. It's like, yeah, you know, that could be that's like an epic poster. You know, if I went in and took out those dialogue balloons, that would look gorgeous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Shadow Guy says, let's go. But the girl, it's a soldier's honor to die. Come on. I want Corso.
So that's actually something that I have heard from, I guess you could say, you know, the Democrat liberal kind of friends that I've known, is like, well, you know, who cares about veterans? It's a soldier's, you know, it's a soldier's job to die for whatever. And I've heard it. So it's exactly why I wanted to include it, because it's very fucking shitty, dude.
Yeah, they're picking teeth.
When they get down here, don't leave me. I'm not. I can cast from up here. So yeah, this piece of shit is
yeah,
coward.
Thank you. Yes, he is.
So he attacks the zombie, but then, oh no, the girl is getting eaten by the zombie. And
yeah, which somebody else brought up that did a review. They were like, man, she's getting lit up twice. Yeah, he really hates this character or something, you know.
Misogyny.
No. Yeah, misogyny. No. And it's true, you know, looking at it, it's like, well, maybe I didn't have to have her mauled by zombies, but at the same time, I kind of did.
Remember, it's not, what is it? It's not the zombies, it's just the zombies' turn.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, who's next? It's like that scene in the movie Airplane where they line up to smack that dude with a kick.
Hold on, you're needed in the front cabin.
I'll be right there.
And then, you know, a fight breaks out. But then we have this mysterious guy, which is this guy, right?
Muhammad.
And he's just, I don't know, attacking. And this is a little bit confusing. What's happening here? So this is the part of the hammer. Is he blinding the zombie and then ripping in two? So Ranger guy says, no, Laurie. And then.
Yes, the idea was that, you know, if you ever played fantasy game or whatever, the cleric or the paladin type character will have some kind of a holy aura or power. And that's kind of what we were going for there. It might not have landed as well as I'd like, but I think that, you know, it's not that far out to kind of see where we were coming from.
Oh no, it's too late. Laurie is dead.
Bug on a windshield.
So this page here, somebody commented, a friend that's not involved in indie comics, but he has read a shit ton of comics. He was like, he saw this page and he was like, blown away. He was like, look at that expert, just the way that he laid it out, where it's, what's that called? The 3 dots. It's like dot, dot, dot.
The ellipses.
That's what he did. Yes. What is it again?
The ellipses?
No.
It's the 3 periods.
Yes, 3 periods. I can't remember the phrase because even though I'm a writer, I'm very dumb. And anyways, but the whole point was like, dot, 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 to give it the the gravitas, mystery, and suspense of shit. I just found her murdered. What can I fucking do?
Well, what's great about the image is the world fell away for that moment, and you only see the 2 figures.
Yes,
that's why there's no detail anywhere except for that's where there's a
just
spotlight on her corpse.
The shock of him losing, potentially the love of his life.
Which surprised me. I mean, she was already been hurt, and I thought she is going to be an important member because she is on the cover. Mostly, people on the.
So she is important in that she represents his innocence.
Because they are important. Now she is not only wounded.
Well, she also represents his motivation.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a great way to look at it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And is she gone for good? I don't know. In a world of undead, who knows?
But she also being dead.
Yeah. Denise Crosby at the end of Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
Double unlucky, I guess.
Double unlucky indeed.
And so he feels very bad for her.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Immediate shifting in tone, which is one of my complaints. So this guy calls it, this is the Muhammad guy, that from the church, and he says, "I'm sorry for your loss." What did he say? "Hey, help me out here with the magic." I said, "Wait, what? Are you just, I don't know, maybe attending to your dead girlfriend instead of, speaking in this way?" So I believe Shadow Guy does the magic, and now they can understand each other. And he says, "Hey, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm a healer from the holy city of Northgard." Northgard?
Yes, I dropped the U just because. Just why not?
Okay. Sent to the retribution to our wicked
what's up?
overlords.
There he is.
Yeah, we're looking at your review of Immortal Rising #1 from I think a year ago.
Who are
By the way, thank you very much for reviewing it. I appreciate it.
you? Yeah. What do you mean? I'm an elf. I thought elves were tiny imaginary creatures who live in the woods and fly around with little bug wings. We're not Alfheim, are we? I do not know where Alfheim is. You are in West Vandal of the lands of Duke Voridar. Only humans, lizardmen, undead, and werewolves live here. So I think the Aaron, the writer, should have redirected this conversation to maybe the why am I forgetting? The people that are important, the king or the prince, instead of this guy that's supposed to be grieving for his girlfriend, like, I don't know, here, instead of, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I suppose I could have. I kind of just wanted a formal introduction with Muhammad kind of joining the team at this point, but also, you kind of see that like he was following along these zombies, happens along and finds the group, and at the same time he was a little too late, and you see the the effects of what happened, or the what happens when he shows up too late. There's she gets killed, unfortunately. And anyways, having them two meet, I thought was more important than the side characters. The two. At this point, they're useless, and all the emotion is on the main character. So that's why I wanted them to interact, but that's fair.
So he says, "I'm the prince." Oh, okay. Basically, he is a prince. And he says, "Where are we? This is Terra, the world mostly ruled by the undead and werewolves."
So this is another panel that I really love. It just, like the way it reads, it goes from his face to the exposition to this Dracula, this badass classic Konami style Dracula's castle, going through all of the exposition, and then down here ending with zombie faces. I just love the way that one is in there. All right, see you, Dave. Thanks for showing up and hanging out.
See you, Dave.
Good one, man.
All right, let's get back to it.
Okay, and then we have this exposition that was destroyed by Dracula, Curse of the Eternal Night, and brought the sun back. Daybreak was 5 days ago. I'm on a quest to help free humanity. I like that, So it seems that this world was covered in darkness, which is really weird. So if this is Terra and it was covered in darkness, then why is this? Why do we have, I don't know, sunlight here? Does that mean
it's a different world? That's why.
Yeah.
And actually, in the beginning, the opening page of the second book, it revisits the idea that the world had just recently come out of darkness because Muhammad's god Andronicus was the one that killed the Dracula that had cursed the world in eternal night. Blah blah blah.
And I'm just filling in what I think it is. Does that mean they are in the past?
I think we had a discussion about this part as well, where it was that transition point where the Flash happened.
Yes,
I think that's why that there was that addition in the second book that kind of reiterates it.
Yeah,
because it wasn't very like overt or whatever. It was very subtle.
Sure,
they shifted worlds or.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it wasn't explained, I guess, as well. Darkseid says the art is fantastic. My gripe in general was that there was just too much exposition. I like the concept and story, but it was just too much for me.
Too much.
Yeah, no, too cool.
Yeah, no loving for so brother.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you get a lot of the introduction in this one, and then I feel that the exposition slows down in the second one, and then by the third one, you don't really need any exposition because it's already been explained. So, and the third one is just like it really is just a giant battle. So
maybe, right? Otherwise, this should be also covered in darkness. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. Anyway,
different world, but that's fine.
So, what is this? You said you were a healer, right? Can you save her? And but her throat has been torn off. He says, "No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I'm not able to, and my church is a month away."
She's still good.
She gone.
Yeah.
He says, I was falling.
Walk it
it's
off.
Only a stretch. It's only a scratch. Good feedback. Tank says, good feedback is how we deliver a better product. It's that or funky 2-page spreads.
Yeah.
A group of zombies, they attacked the farm a day from here. And he says, okay, we have to bury her. And then they bury her, which looks really nice, I must say. The art is gorgeous.
Yeah, I like the color on that page.
It's a shame. I love Laurie. I love, that's a big word. I like Laurie as a character, but...
Sweet. Awesome. That was
the point.
Yeah, right.
You were supposed to like her. Yes,
suddenly
thank you.
I think this is too soon, in my opinion. Right? Or maybe...
Totally fair. But again, this is the undead.
Yeah. What's too soon that they killed her so early? Is
that
what it is?
That I killed her off. And
but you know what?
Other people said that I tortured her too and then killed her.
Yes.
But, for me though, if you cared about her that much, then you did the right job. You know what I mean? Like
I did it right.
If he cared about her. So he was like, wait, it's too soon. Well, that means he cared about her. So that's what you did the right thing.
Yeah, if nobody gave a shit about her, it was like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Some dead dude.
Yes.
Well, and from writing it kind of perspective is she was supposed to symbolize his innocence and his youthful his naivety, all that stuff, but also she was supposed to get supposed to show his humanity as far as we like him because we like her and she likes him, right? It's kind of that kind of deal going on, and then once she served that purpose, I was like, she got to go.
Bye bye,
coming back to life. in another volume, I don't know. But then we also have a side mission or side story.
Yeah. So, and then in this story, like I said, the idea behind it was that you see the gods and the first level characters and how the two, how the gods influence all of the, all the little people, as you could say.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole part, the point of the Knights of Locutus. of course, Locutus being the creator god, these are the the good guys who are trying to fight for the creator god and against the evil Bamain, which we'll find his Bamain's reasons for wanting to overthrow his creator and all that stuff. That all plays out eventually over time. But
story about the Knights of Localus, which is these two, I guess, and these are gods called Listo and Erickson, and they are in hell. What makes it?
And I think Listo is probably Jose's favorite character to draw, and probably his favorite personality.
I want to look at this.
Even more confusing.
Use that for promo art.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. The one that I put it on the shirt was him standing there with a sword, looking all badass.
The little brochure thing too,
looking like something from Warhammer 40K.
Yeah,
I love it.
And they are speaking about Baron Sabist for assisting Baman, the Blue Priestess world, I guess. And there's zombies here, I guess, and they are.
It's like little lesser demon kind of deal because they're in hell, so it's like the realm of that demon lord or whatever he is, that Baron.
Concealing themselves before the forces of hell.
Now that page, I really like that page. Just seeing all the magic going off and the ruffling cloak, and it's so awesome. That's kind of stuff that Jose does, though. His crazy, detail. And first starting to work with him, I didn't know how to kind of interact to get him to, pull out how crazy he can go. And a lot of the low level stuff doesn't take a lot of intricate design. And and I could tell after having worked with him for a few years, it's like that story's okay for him, but he really likes to just strut his stuff with the big crazy Knights of Locutus story, because they're gods. You can go crazy with it. And now, like in the third book, so in the second one, the art design for their whole story is just like a lot of detail, pretty over the top kind of stuff, very cosmic. And then in the third one, it's going to get it's even, I wouldn't say even bigger, but it's really big. There's going to be dragons. It's going to be nuts. So.
Nice.
I'm excited, but I can't say anything or show anything. So
are finding them. I'm so confused. It looks great.
Yeah. So what they're on there it is. So that piece right there, I clipped out and put it on a shirt. And anyways, so what we see them, they're kind of doing their thing. They're in hell, getting retribution on someone who betrayed the good guys. He's like, fuck it, we're killing them. So they sneak into hell to kill him, and they proceed to do that.
Right? This all looks great. And so they are attacking the forces of hell. I find it weird that you use the word whoosh while ripping into demons.
I don't know. That's a Jose thing. Maybe it's because like the weight of the sword. Whoosh, whoosh. I don't know.
Yeah. And flesh and maiming and all that.
Maybe should have added like, some other stuff like chuck, or I don't know, just like check, or really chopping into them, chop even.
Fuck stuff. This is probably not the right lettering that I would use. But that's me.
I will say that I think that his Automyopia design does improve in the second one. It gets even better.
And then he says, Baron, you cannot avoid my wrath. Appear before me now, he says. And then the Baron comes, which is a big dude. And he says, there you are.
You big boy.
He attacks, slices into his chest. And he says, oh no, you may have stopped me, but you never defeat Bamain.
Classic bad guy dying. Oh, you may have killed me, but you'll never defeat the bigger bad guy, right? Mustache. You might have defeated me. Yeah, that's all right. I had to do it. I know it's tropey, but I did it.
And cuts off his head, and that's it.
Yes.
So this big battle is just over in 1 second. With the Baron's destruction, the creation
Yeah, sorry, I only had 10 pages. And I got to get through the story.
Crack and become no more. Okay. Wow. And then it seems
it's like your basic, like at the end of Castlevania or just a bad guy in a video game. You kill them, and then oh no, the castle's collapsing around me. Well, this is like a realm in hell. So without the creator of that realm or the main power of that realm, it cracks apart and and is no more, dissipates.
That the two gods are,
at least that's what I was going for.
in communication with something on Earth, also on Terra, and I believe these are the forces of Baman, right? The alien forces are.
Well, it was more of the Baron, but bad guys,
Yeah, baddies.
Basically, Bamain. That would make sense,
invading Earth from the spaceship. I could be, unless I just it's not really.
No, that was just in hell.
Really explained, but that's what I'm guessing. Terra, planet Terra in our home system of Locutus. So I still don't know what Locutus is.
I love that.
What's that?
That name is like such a challenge to pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's thrown in an extra S, but that's all right. Some people pronounce it Locutus, which it's fine.
Honestly,
I think you got to be like a Star Trek guy to pronounce it as Locutus.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, honestly, if I hadn't seen Star Trek: The Next Generation, I probably would have mispronounced it too. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
More questions, right? Okay. So the other brother says, in addition, a major reality shift have happened. A new Bamanite invasion tactic. Sire.
Yeah.
An unknown.
Yeah, that's all right, Darkseid. Fantasy books. You know what I mean?
Fantasy names, yeah.
I try not to go too crazy with them.
Number of beings and creatures has been magically transported to Terra. It doesn't appear so. It looks completely random, Sire, and it has.
So the point of this is just to show that they have a cosmic war going on, and here, way over here, something's going on with the cosmic war, and they need to be alerted about it. And so that changes their focus to what's going on this planet over here, Terra, which is where our other characters already are.
The power signature of Locutus. That's strange. I don't know what Locutus is. How is that strange? Tell me what it is. And then, I don't know. The last piece of Locutus hearts may be found, and it's surrounded by Bamanites. So, wait a minute. And then we have this, which looks really cool. So,
yeah, those are the original sketches that Jose did of those characters. I was like, man, I got to put those in the book. That was his first. I was like, when I first talked to him originally, it was for him to do the Knights of Locutus story because I already had a different artist do the main story. And so when he first got back with me, because when I described the characters and all that stuff, he's like, how about these? I was like, great, I love it. Let's do it. So and then later when it came to printing, I had to throw them in there.
Okay, what do I think of this? It's too confusing.
Okay, here we go. All right, too confusing. That's fair.
That's my bottom line. The art is
That's
great.
fine.
I'm invested in these two. Also invested in this brother and the prince, and maybe even.
Nice. See, I like that the shitty prince, stands out a little bit because him being shitty will come around again.
And in this church guy with the demons and the monsters, but it's too much. We have the prince, we have his brother, we have this.
Yeah, that was one of the things. Is like the party itself has like 5 members, plus the setting as a character, I don't know, plus the 2 god characters. I understand that it's a lot, totally do. And originally, go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're all right.
Well, I mean, it comes down to storytelling style.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, like for my book, I treat it as like a juggling act. I've got one ball that I'm expecting the audience to juggle, and then when I progress the story, I add another ball, and then another ball, and by the end of the story arc, there's 3 or 4 balls that they're juggling, and each one of those balls represents something that they're supposed to remember, understand, and kind of go along with. Whereas you get something like Frank Herbert, and he'll front load all of that stuff, all of that exposition right in the freaking prologue. Like, if you've ever read Dune or watched the movie,
yes,
there is
84
so much stuff thrown right at the beginning.
I
But-
84 Dune.
You know,
the director's cut of 84 Dune, where they're going through, they're explaining like the history and all that. I love that.
Yeah, so
a lot of times though, it's too much to take, you know, for a lot of people.
And that's the thing, is a specific audience. Some people love the front-loaded exposition because it gives them, it's just give me what I need to know right up front, and then from there I got the story. And other people, they want the slow progressive buildup.
Yeah,
you know, so it's a different approach. You know, and
Tank says, "Take me to Sector 001, and I will explain everything." So, but that's totally fair. It is a lot, especially because it is a first issue, and it's like, if only I could have done more pages, but this costs me a lot of money, and I wanted to get in as much as I can in the few pages that I have. And I understand that is a lot. It's very thick. Exposition and setting and all that stuff, totally understandable. And the way I wrote it was I took one story and broke it into 3 acts, and then I published those acts. So I don't think I'll do that again, but it's a learning curve. So I don't know. I think it came out okay. Some people,
I gotta be honest,
don't mind, and some people do. They're like, it's too much going on. So
for me, I didn't think it was too much, but no, I liked it. And there was things that it made me question, but I was like, okay, it's going to be told, down the road. And then other things I was like, wait a minute, okay, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like some of the gods and stuff, but it didn't throw me off enough to make me go, okay, this is too much for me. It's just, I like the characters and everything. And so all the rest I feel like will fall into place. And like I said, I think you set up the characters right to make you care about them. And now we're invested. You know what I mean? By the end of the story. So
here we go. Dark says it's hard. You have the story in your head and it makes total sense. And then you have to translate it in such a way that the audience understands the story as well. Sure. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the hardest part for me. Like, I'm starting to write for the first time. And being able to translate what I have in my head to convey everything and make it lay out in a sequence is very difficult.
Well, and also when the approach I had for this was like I wanted it to feel like a fantasy novel, like classic Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance or something with like an already lived in feel. Which I think that was one of the complaints as well, is like, well, I don't like an already lived in world or something like that. So, which that's fine. That's just
really?
A
that's
taste.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere, but which makes sense because for comics, you like Chris was saying, you want to do one thing at a time, kind of, to not bog down readers or confuse them. And whereas novels, you can play around in different ways. You can in comics. Lesson learned. I agree.
Well, but it's still like, again, it's an audience preference thing, because what's going to happen if you do the progressive rollout like what I'm doing, you'll get this is really slow in plotting.
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute, if I front load all of the exposition, then it's confusing. But if I gradually reveal it through progressive revelation or whatever, or progressive disclosure, you're telling me it's too slow. It's like, you know what I mean? So you're going to get conflicting feedback and things like that.
I agree. Yeah. Another review, that was something that they said was like, we would have liked to have spent more time with, the Rangers on that planet, or we would like to spend more time, with just Muhammad, doing his thing. That's awesome. To me, that's a compliment, because all that was dialogue. Nothing was really happening.
That means they like your characters. So that, that means they want more, which you're going to give them more. But I actually am like, if they're asking for more, then that's always a good sign. But you don't have to always do that in the story to make people like them. And you didn't. Like, you gave them enough to make people care. So that's
right.
The point.
Yeah, thank you. I think so. I think I did all right with, conveying all that with the dialogue. So
all
right, going forward.
Dad, this new guy comes up. We have alien and invasions, right? We have this priestess, empress that is a cleric. We have this evil guy, which I don't know what he wants, but he talks about the ruby. What is the ruby? What does it do? Why is it important? And then we have...
That's actually, more of that is explained in issue 2. So, because the job of the Knights of Locutus storyline was to explain some of the meta exposition. So, a lot of that will be explained. At least I hope.
No, they're being transported to somewhere else, and there is zombies, and then we have the Heart of Locutus, whatever that is, and it talks about souls, and it calls for protection. What does that mean? I do not know. And then we have gods fighting in hell.
Fuck yeah. First of all, how cool is that? God's fighting in hell. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Doesn't get more metal than that.
That's right.
Which creates even more questions, right?
I mean, I understand because it is the first act of a 3-act story, so it leaves a lot of questions.
There's just too much.
It'd be like going to an hour-and-a-half movie and only watching the first half hour. It's like, but you missed the whole other hour, you know. But and as time comes, as the story progresses, a lot of these things will be dealt with.
And like I said, she's died too quickly. So the problem with a lot of modern writers, maybe I shouldn't say that, with writers is they want to cram in too much. There's too much going on. There's too many characters. There's too many plot lines where this is going. We have, like I said, everything that I just mentioned before, it's been crammed into this book. Why not focus first on what's happening here, and then do the god thingy and the stuff in hell with the Locustus later? Just establish what's happening here, show us some action, show us some zombies. So where this is going, with the group that we already know, because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A lot of people.
5, excluding the bad guy with the ruby, and then the woman with the big titties. Probably, I guess with a big booty.
There it is. Now he recognizes it.
Yeah. Tommy Mommy for the win.
Yeah. You didn't want to mention it earlier. He was pointing around it, remember?
Yeah.
And then focus on that, and then leave all this souls and Locustus and other stuff out there. Just too much. Just spread it into volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. Like I said,
I'm sorry that's a lot of money, but I appreciate that. That's very true.
Well,
Aaron
that
does
goes
a
to what
lot
I was
of
saying about
things
the
good.
progressive disclosure. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Because again, depending on the audience you're trying to capture, do you want the people that love being inundated with information, having it all front loaded because they're getting their bang for their buck? They're like, oh, it's all you threw a bunch of weird names, so some concepts and a world, and it's vision. It could be overwhelming for some, but others are like, I love this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Frank Herbert Doom.
And I did get some of that, it feels like the quotes I was using in some of my advertisements, like it feels just like a Dungeons and Dragons beginning of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So like people who are kind of used to it, this falls right into their laps. So, and then some who aren't, maybe more used to, I guess, comic writing. Yeah, you can focus on less shit and slowly drip it and all that, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those feedback points where it's great to have, but at the same time you're going to get conflicting feedback. Because if you do a course correct and suddenly you do the 4 books where you could have told the story in one, and everything gets spread out, suddenly it's like your pacing is off. It's really slow and boring. There isn't enough action here, and it's like, wait, what? I can't win either way.
And that was one of the critiques that I totally understand is like, all the pacing, there's too much. All that's totally viable. I completely understand where you're coming from. This is the way I went with it. Just try to front load some of the exposition, so then we don't have to come back to it. Hopefully.
at some point, it just
wait. He's going to talk about some good stuff. So 1 second. About time. No, just
more of that booty.
More booty. All right.
Spread it into volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. Like I said, Aaron does a lot of things good, but it's just at some point it's just getting convoluted, and now I have to wait a couple of years to get the answers that I probably not gonna get. Yeah, or maybe he's just watching this video, and maybe he's picking up some of the things that I'm trying to say to him.
Yes, I did.
Not. But that's on him. But overall, I'm willing to pick up volume 2 because I'm.
Bang! There it is. Bro.
Yep, you did
liked it enough to come back for 2. That's all.
Right.
Speaking of which, you can at the top of the chat should be pinned is the Kickstarter link to buy both book 1 and 2. Book 1 has the Corey Barton cover, where this is the original Jose Garcia cover, and then this number 2 cover has or is done by Jimmy Reyes. So anyways, and then also on Fund My Comic, if you're a loyalist who doesn't want to go to Kickstarter or whatever, pick or choose, they're both there. But I will say, if you missed out on the Indiegogo campaign, you missed out on a lot of the frills and the extra stuff. So unfortunately,
floppy,
you're just getting the premium books on Kickstarter and Fund My Comic. So all right.
Interested, but it needs to be simplified a little bit more.
It will,
in my humble opinion. So
yes.
That's my video, guys. Let me know what you think about Immortal Rising. It's not bad. That's why I'm trying to say.
Hey, it's not bad.
Dude, that goes on the back of the box. It's in quotes.
Not bad.
I'll take it. Not bad. Quote tweet that.
Yep.
Anyway. Yes, and I appreciate it. And actually, so I chose that one in particular because he makes some critiques in there that I thought were totally viable. Because sometimes the reviews will just be like, this is great, and that's cool, and I love to hear it. That's like syrup in my ear. But I also like some things that you don't like. I like to hear, this could be better or something like that. I don't mind that at all, because it'll either be I'll listen to it and I'll take that advice, or I'll be like, I don't really agree with them. So, but at least I get to hear some kind of review and critique. So I appreciate it. I really do. Now, I guess now that we've kind of gone through that, which was super fun, maybe we can come back to the idea of reviews in the indie scene, because we were talking a little bit about it at the beginning. But maybe we could recap some of those points and then look for the end of the show here. So what do you guys think about the review and the review process and everything?
Yeah, man. Like honestly, what is it? Bad exposure is better than no exposure. Even if somebody is reviewing your book, if they're a customer and they're getting it out there, they're getting in people's ears, like that is 1,000 times better than letting a book just vanish into nothingness. And that's, I wish I could get more people to review my book, to be honest.
Dark Side, please do not delete the video.
Yeah,
don't do that. And I said that at the beginning. I was like, first of all, I really appreciate this. Was not to nitpick your critique of my at all.
Right.
I just appreciate that you read it and you liked it enough to go for 2.
Right.
So
I think the review was great, and because it was honest, but also it gave you the positive negatives. If you would have just been ripping it apart, of course, then delete that damn thing.
Yeah,
but that's not what he did. Yeah, and I think it was good. What's that?
He wasn't like focusing on the creator either, and I know that's like antithetical to everything we've been told, where it's like, oh, you got to be this, you got to be the showman, you got to be the clown and dance on YouTube. Like, dude, like, when YouTube is done or you say something stupid and get canceled or whatever, your book will still exist. Like, Orson Scott Card is hated by the left, but Ender's Game and the entire Ender's series still stands on its own. People give more shit about that than they do about whatever Orson Scott Card's political views are. And that's when I see reviews that sit there and focus on the book, it makes me more interested in hearing the review than somebody that's like, oh, well, Aaron did this and he's part of this and blah, blah. It's like, well, what does it have to do with the book? Like,
he's a fucking fat piece of shit.
Damn.
Sorry, that's my inner. Like, I see myself getting fat this year. Never mind. Go back to it.
Oh shit.
The only thing I would say, I want to hear more of the readers giving reviews, like they do the Chit and things like that. That show and some other, there's some other readers out there that do some videos. People like
Kemosabe. You guys ever seen Kemosabe reviews?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He does some great reviews. Go ahead.
But he's also he's a creator. So I'm trying to think of people who aren't creators who are maybe involved in like out in the community. And we need more of those people to speak up and say some things because they're backing books. We know they're backing books.
Yeah.
Well, I would appreciate seeing more reviewers that are not creators because we're in kind of
that's
a
what I
circle
want.
jerk. Yeah, we're in kind of a circle jerk now where creators are,
I don't know.
That's why I called out Amanda B because like she doesn't have any skin in the game,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Dark Side. I don't know if Chemo's still doing videos or not. I just remember I've seen, and I really enjoyed his video because he's going through similar to the way you did, and his charisma comes off on his reviews, and I liked it. So
But the Chit, they'll throw out, and it used to be called the Chat. They throw out some books that are up and coming. They'll throw out some new campaigns and show people who are currently doing whatever, and that's cool. But I think they could get away with doing some very cool reviews because there's about 4 or 5 people in there, and they're all just readers, backers of the books. Right. And I think that would be awesome.
And I understand because not everybody wants to get on screen like this. I wouldn't have if I didn't feel that I needed to begin with, to network and to learn how to sell and pitch and all that stuff. So not everybody wants to do that. So I understand that. But I agree. We need some of the customers out there. Just give your opinion, especially if it's a book that you like, and you don't have to get into the politics. Oh, I don't like such and such creator, and this is what's wrong with his book, and that's old, and it just adds more negativity to the scene. And right now it is teeming with it on all sides.
Oh, it's terrible.
We just need to talk good about books. Damn it.
And the one thing that Chit did or the Chat did at that time, they looked at my logo and they told me my logo was terrible, and so we redid the terrible, or we did the logo. I mean, and I would agree with them. Looking back on it, I'm like, I see why they say that. And we changed it, and we had Corey Barton color it, and it looked infinitely better than what it was. And so that critique is very good. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of people can't take it.
Well, here's the thing: again, as a UX designer in my day job, like the people that are giving you negative feedback are very valuable in the sense that for every person that gives something negative about your book, there's like maybe 100 people that are saying nothing and just not buying your book.
Right. Yes.
So take that shit. It's gold, dude.
Yeah, because you're not going to hear from them. And what I found was that people were talking in back rooms about my book, but they weren't willing to talk to me. And that really sucks. That's not a fun thing to find out.
Well, that's the political charge of this whole circle jerk where we have creators backing creators. I'm grateful that creators are backing me and stuff, but at the end of the day, I would prefer to expand out to the people who do not want who aren't part of that group. They're the outer the customer, versus the creator. I hate being a creator and a customer. Because I can't profess things I can't go out there and be like, hey, this is why I think your book is awesome, or why your book sucks, and blah blah blah. And they're like, who the hell are you? Your book is garbage, dude. You didn't even make 10 freaking grand. Shut up.
Right.
I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? No. Yeah, totally. I agree. Yeah, it's always good for the customers to get involved, especially in this grassroots market. That's the only way anything's going to take off is if people start talking about the stuff that they do like, instead of just bitching, for whatever reason, to look cool in front of your friends that you're bitching about the person they don't like too, whatever. I don't know. I dropped out of high school because of that shit. So
Damn.
Not just because of that. It actually is because we have a shitty school system, but that's a whole nother. Yeah. Anyways, any last thoughts? Anybody want to add anything? I guess actually, Infinitale Chronicles, Chris, you've got your second campaign. You're collecting mailing lists? Is that right?
Yeah. We still have the pre-launch campaign or pre-launch page for the second book. It's still up, which is a good thing because if you sign up for the mailing list, it'll get you access to other kind of special perks and stuff when the campaign launches. I'm kind of in the here. I'll post the link in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. Like the reason why this is taking so goddamn long, dude. I've already had all 10 books already written like 20, 30 years ago. Like this stuff has been done. The problem is you get art teams, you get deprioritized by art teams, then you have to switch art teams. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff that costs a lot of money and you don't have anything to show for it. And my thing I wanted to have an actual book in my hands before I'm asking people for money. So that's why it's taken me this damn long just to get the second campaign kicked off. And I'm still waiting on color. And once I get all of the colored pages, then we got to do the lettering and then send that sucker off to print, get the proof of the print, and then we'll launch the campaign. Bancroft has been amazing. I asked him, if I could do a launch on his show, and he said, "Yep." So I'm hoping to do that sometime, probably by mid-March, end of March. Nice. And in addition to that, there's other books there too. There's the alternate art edition, which I've had sitting here for like months and months and months. And then the manga edition, which has also been completed for almost a year now.
It's very fun. Yes.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. And here's the surprise. Okay. Or one of the things that I'm really excited about, and I hope we make it. I've been working with Nerium Nova for book 3. And we're looking at getting a preview of chapter 1 for book 3 as a stretch goal in the book 2 campaign. So if we can, actually get this thing funded and get it to where I'm actually making somewhat of a, getting a little bit out of the red. I just asked to get out of the red, guys. We'll be able to have a free add-on of the first chapter of, or I should say, the first chapter of book 3 included in your purchase. So you get kind of waiting all this time. You're going to get book 2, book 2.5 included in book 2. So we're looking at over 120 pages, and then on top of that, there's going to be the first chapter of book 3. So you're going to get a lot for your money. And then, dude, if you get the manga edition, it's a complete revamp of book 1, in the manga format. So smaller format, read right to left, all that stuff. But it's book 1 and book 2 combined. So it's like a trade paperback.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of stuff to read.
Nice.
That's really cool.
1 second. So Darkseid, he got the titty book. I'll say that's just
love it.
That's just the cover from Corey Barton. It's the same story. I did make some changes in there from the first edition of it, but otherwise it's going to be the same story. What you're going to want to continue is you're going to want to get the ogre cover. That's book 2. So just letting you know. But yes, I agree. The Corey Barton cover everybody loves it. So. Yeah. Also, Darkseid says he's on Bancroft channel in March as well, but he needs to reach 100 backers. Yeah, that is one of Bancroft's stipulations, is like at least have
100 signups.
Yeah. Which is totally cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, he says I got the wrong one. You know what? What I'll do is I'll see if we can get you refunded and you can try buying the other one instead. So
we got the little number of the book in the corner of I think it's on the front. Does it say like book 1 of 2?
Yeah, it'll say up on the side. Yep, that's exactly what we were. Yep, we were on the same level. So it'll get resolved. Not a big deal. I just appreciate that you're interested in continuing. So. And Derek, is there anything you want to try to plug or talk about?
The only thing I'll say is I'm open to commissions. Catch me on Twitter, and other than that, I'm working on my own project, starting to write my own story, and working on some concept art right now. And then once I get the story completed, I'm going to start working on pages. So I'm looking forward to get myself back out there in the game, man. So
oh yeah.
Yep, very cool. All right, guys. I guess that is the end for us. So I guess until next time, enough talk.
Enough talk.